There we are. Good morning. Good morning. It is Continued Momentum Monday. And I am Coach Sarit. And today we're going to be talking about how to cure people pleasing. And this conversation is literally coming in at a perfect time because literally yesterday, Erin and I were having a conversation, also us and a friend, about, recovering from people pleasing. So good morning for everybody who is here. If you're here live with us, and if you know that you have been operating from the space of being a people pleaser, quote unquote, then please go ahead and drop a PP in the chat, because today I want to share with you the 3 steps to recovering from people pleasing. Okay. And the first thing about recovering from people pleasing is that it's a process. And I believe, as a recovering, okay, I see some PPs in the chat. I see you. Good morning. JB, PP, Facebook user, wish I knew your name. Facebook user, wish I knew your name. Marva, PP, Sherlyn, Melissa, Lisa, PP, Amanda, PP. Okay. So yeah, you're not the only one. I'm a recovering people pleaser as well. By no means are we perfect. And I share this with you because I actually recognized, even this weekend, how being a people pleaser actually led to a breakdown in my personal life. Okay, so I'll share this with you in just a second. Something that I also want to add is that today we are going to have a very, very special guest who will talk to us about the distinctions of living a fully fulfilled life. This person is incredible. She's a dear friend of ours. We met her about a year ago, and she does incredible things. She's built a really, really strong community, and super excited to share her with you today, because, as a matter of fact, Erin, myself, the speaker that you'll meet today, along with a few other speakers, are all going to be collaborating as female leaders on Wednesday to, help inspire and teach how to create a 10 out of 10 life. Now, of course, you are in our community, so you know that our area of expertise is weight loss and body transformation. However, I want to ask you guys a question. Like, what are other areas of your life that you know that you want to optimize? Like, think about it. So, like, I'll tell you, for me, like, having a nice body just to have a nice body, it's like, okay, and what's next? And what's next? Right? It's, for me, having a full life is about having an amazing body, because I know that my body is the vessel to my soul. Right? And it allows me to bring my best self to everything else that I do, right? Whether it's with my professional development and my career. Yes, when you have a healthier body, you have more energy. My body does not hold me back from how much I execute on the day-to-day. As a matter of fact, my body allows me to create more energy. Like, whenever Erin and I go places, or whenever we meet people, they're like, man, your energy, right? Why is that? It's because our bodies are not standing in our way and are just taking energy away from us. So, like, your body's either taking energy from you or adding to your energy tank. We're all energetic beings, right? I mean, of course, you know that Erin and I are married. So for me, also having a 10 out of 10 relationship, not just with Erin, also with my inner circle of friends is something that's, like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? Like what's the point of having one area of your life, be risen up to a higher standard, and then when it comes to relationships, like having all of that be broken? You know what I mean? Because if anything, I want to look and feel a certain way so that other people want to be in my presence, because I do believe that we are social creatures. As a matter of fact, we are. This is why when COVID happened, what happened, guys? Depression and anxiety like was the highest it's ever been, because we had to isolate ourselves from one another. Okay. So when it comes to our health, when it comes to our relationship, who is a parent in the house? Go ahead and drop a P in the chat. I'm not yet a parent. I am a dog parent. I do strive to be the dog parent that I can be, taking the dogs out to, for walks 3 times a day, regardless of what my schedule looks like, making sure that they're well fed, making sure that they're taken care of, right? I can only imagine what it's like for you if you're a parent. You know what I mean? Like what does being an excellent parent mean to you, right? So having it touch your marriage, having it touch your relationships, friends and family members, and then for all the parents in the house, like being the best parents that you could be. And, lastly, also on a spiritual level, we're all spiritual beings, right? Like, how do you elevate your spirit in a way where you are at peace? Because you're aligned with the source of creation. Some people call it the universe, some people call it God. However you want to call it, doesn't matter. Okay. We are all a part of something that's way, way bigger than ourselves. And when we are aligned with that, you can feel it. It's undeniable, right? This is why, please go ahead and drop ES if you've ever been to an ES live before. When you go to an ES live, you can the feeling is undeniable, right? Like you can feel that you're a part of a source that is so much bigger than who you are, and the energy is just ecstatic. Now, that is what, like having a 10 out of 10 spiritual life is all about. Whether you're, in a big crowd with other people or by yourself. What if you could create that every single day in your life? Okay. Some of you guys have been to the ES Live. Sherlyn, JB, Lisa, Melissa, Marva, Amy. By the way, I'm seeing some new names in the chat. If this is your first time on an Espresso episode, please go ahead and drop a 1. Go ahead and drop a 1. And then of course, our finances. Our finances. Imagine living your life and having all forms of freedom: financial freedom, physical freedom, mental freedom, spiritual freedom, not being held back by anything. What I want you to know is that Erin and I are super adamant about being able to provide you this opportunity. Now, of course, with what we're pursuing, we know that we're experts in one area. So we wanted to provide you this incredible opportunity of, expanding your horizons rather than limiting yourself in other areas of your life as well. And that's why on Wednesday, I'm actually going to go ahead and drop a link. Just go ahead and click on that link to sign up for this live virtual event. It's completely free, by the way. And I believe that there is a way to catch the recordings as well. Go ahead and join us on Wednesday, where we're going to be collaborating with a couple other incredible female leaders, where we're all going to be coming together and collaborating from different areas of expertise with regards to helping you to elevate yourself so that we can create a 10 out of 10 life. And I want to share with you real quick, whether you're a people pleaser or not. We're going to get to the people pleasing in just a second. Dawn, welcome. Tracy, welcome. Amy, welcome. Welcome to the community. It's great to have you here. So go ahead and click on that link to get yourself registered. Feel free to share it with your friends and loved ones as well. Something that Erin and I feel very strongly about is to help women become the most unstoppable version of themselves. Of course, when women come to us, they come to us because they're ready. Awesome, Melissa. We look forward to seeing you there. Because right? When you first came to us, that you're ready to elevate yourself. You're either feeling sick and tired of feeling the way that you do, or you're either, maybe you heard us say something and you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm in a good spot, but I know I can do better. And something was either said or you saw something that, hit home with you. Which one of these are you, by the way, before you came to our community? Did you come to our community? Number one, drop a 1 if this is you. If you felt, dude, I'm sick and tired of being in the position that I'm in right now. So that's one feeling sick and tired of being in the position that I'm in right now. Something has definitely got to change. Drop a 1 if this is you. Or drop a 2 if you're like, I just want to do better. I'm not sick and tired. Like when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't tell myself things like you're disgusting, and I'm sharing with you things that I used to tell myself, back in the day. You're a fat piece of shit. I used to tell myself that. Right? Or you're like, dude, you know what? I'm in a good spot. It just, I'm ready. I'm ready to blow it to the next level. Let's freaking go. Okay. So let's see. 2, 1, 2. Okay, so mostly ones. So get connected with that feeling. And I share this with you because if you feel this way about your physicality, our body is simply a physicality of one of the elements in our lives. Then chances is that it's potentially happening in other areas of your life as well. And normally we don't get connected to something until we get to a point where we tell ourselves, dude, I'm really disgusted with myself. Or dude, this is really bad. Or dude, none of my pants fit anymore. Did you guys know that 60% of the people who end up getting married end up getting divorced? And for all of our single people, drop an M if you're married, drop an S if you're single. Did you know that for all my single people in the house, on average, 6 out of 10 single people haven't been on a date in more than 5 years? Why? It all comes down to one thing. ND, divorce. Thank you for helping me with acronyms today. I know we got lots of acronyms. Okay, so hold on. SMMMM. I think we're at a pretty even ratio of single to married, guys. Yeah, divorce. So 60% of the people who get married end up getting divorced. You guys, it's wild. So it comes down to one thing and one thing only. And I'll share with you what it is. It's education. Guys, when we went to school, did you ever have a class that taught you how to prepare the right foods so that you take better care of your body, so that you don't self-sabotage with your health? Did you have any classes where you were taught how to manage your mind in stressful situations or emotional situations? To all my people pleasers out there, I'm going to get to you in just a second, because as a recovering people pleaser myself, anytime you get connected with, oh, dude, I totally just people please right now, what happens to you emotionally? Drop a truth if you know that this is true, because I felt it this weekend as a recovering people pleaser. Drop a truth if emotionally you feel like your state has just lowered. And it comes in the form of either anxiety or guilt or frustration or anger. All these feelings are simply what? A manifestation. So at this point in time, right, like working on recovering from people pleasing, when I do get myself in that state, I feel happy and grateful, because I no longer get to a point where I self-sabotage on my body with food or alcohol or whatever that thing may be. For me, back in the day when I used to struggle with my body, my form of self-sabotage was in the form of the overconsumption of chocolate and peanut butter, to the point of getting myself to a food coma. Okay. So for anybody who can relate and with regards to self-sabotage, let's just open up and get vulnerable with one another, so that, I can understand where is it that you are coming from. Oh my God, the guilt, right? Like, you're like, dude, oh my, whatever story we tell ourselves, right? And sometimes it could be the thing that actually gets us to a downward spiral. I know it happened to me before. Okay. So I share this with you because, and this is why Erin and I, and, a group of our leader friends have decided to put together this event, because none of us have been taught these life skills. These are actual life skills when we went to school. We were taught 1 + 1 = 2, which is great. We were taught what is DNA, which is great. We were taught that the different forms of communication are email, snail mail, text message, phone call. Now, what about the real life situation that we go through each and every single day? Like, how do you take care of your body? How do you take care of your mind? How do you manage your mind? How do you create a soulful relationship? How do you create a life for yourself where, as a female, regardless of your age, regardless of what place you were born, regardless of your sexual orientation or whatever other limitations society puts on us, you were able to create and take care of yourself and your family? Imagine if we lived in a world where the school system has taught us that. Where would you be right now? Don't you think it would be great? Drop a great if you're like, dude, it would be amazing. I know it would be amazing. Now, there's nothing that we can do about the past. All we can do is, focus on where we're heading. Okay. And that's why we decided to put this event together, because listen to me, I believe that females, we have the greatest leadership opportunity that we've ever had in our entire life, especially in this country, because we actually do have the rights to express ourselves. Now, if we don't ever, right, it would be so great, guys. It would be so great. Now, the reason why we don't execute on it to the degree that we actually can, it's because we've never been taught how to do that before. So we go through life based on our current level of knowingness, knowing what we know. To the degree that you know, you will act upon. Okay, so Wednesday is going to be absolute fire. Would love to see you there. Sign up for it. It's completely free. Our intention is to truly just come together and add as much value to as possible so that you can create a 10 out of 10 life with regards to your mental health, with regards to your spiritual health, with regards to your finances, and with regards to your total body and mind. And I see our very special guest for today is here. So I'm going to pop her on here. Haley Hobson, welcome. Hey, can you hear us? I don't know if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, we can hear you.
Hey, okay, can you hear me now?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I had a little trouble getting on. It was not letting me get on.
It happens. Shit happens. Guys, if you know that shit happens, go ahead and drop an S. So, hey, Haley, good morning.
Hey,
you're in California, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego.
Love it. Okay, so it's nice and early by you. Did you just get done working out?
I did.
Awesome.
I'm in my car. I haven't left the gym yet.
Oh, beautiful. So today we're talking about people pleasing, which is actually a great segue to, the event that we are collaborating on Wednesday. And what we're just talking about is right now is the prime time for women to come together and to raise one another up. And on the event on Wednesday, of course, you were the genius who decided to create this entire event. So we would love to know from you, like, what inspired you to want to put such an event together?
Yeah, I'd love to share. So, over the last couple of years, I've been on quite a journey, and I realized something about myself. I realized that I had been playing lone wolf for a really long time, which means that I had been just doing my own thing. I'd sort of been in my zone. I had achieved a lot of financial and business success, but I didn't have like real great relationships, specifically female relationships in my life. And I had a lot of acquaintances, like no matter where I went, people knew who I was and they were excited to be around me, but I didn't feel connected. And so I have been diving deep into myself over the last couple of years and really trying to figure out, like, how is it that I can open up myself to allow other people to feel comfortable, and how can I be more vulnerable to allow people to be more comfortable in my space? And so as part of this journey, I have been really opening up not only my social life, but I've been diving deep into relationships in my leadership trainings and with other female entrepreneurs. And as I hang around with other female entrepreneurs, whether it's just literally like 30 minutes on a Zoom or creating an event like this, I feel so lit up. Like by me giving, by me being vulnerable, by me giving, it's actually giving back to me. So my life has become so full with all of these fantastic relationships that I have. It has been warming my heart, and it's been lifting a new energy in me that I've never had before. And so I came to these women originally and I was like, we get to do something together, not only because we're all geniuses in our own space, but because it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. I want to get to know you better. And cumulatively, collaboratively, all of us together have so much to offer people who don't know us. So that was really my intention starting this.
So good. So good. So, guys, as you're listening, because we're talking about people pleasing today, obviously, I'm not here to make any assumptions. Giving is something that probably makes you feel good. So if you can resonate with this, just go ahead and drop a G in the chat so that Haley can see you. Can you actually see the chat, Haley? I don't know if you can see it on the phone. That's okay if you can't.
No, yeah. I got to play around with it a little bit. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, beautiful. Here they're coming. Jeez. Yeah, giving feels good. And ultimately, that's why we decided to do this. So Haley, this is your first time being on our platform, so I would also love it if you could share, like, what is your area of expertise, and of course, other than your incredible leadership skills and just being the visionary for this event, how do you help women on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so I started my journey originally as a bankruptcy attorney. And I
What?
realized that
No
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. After I went to college, I went to law school. I moved out to LA. I started working for a corporate bankruptcy firm. It was really like business because I was doing Chapter 11 corporate bankruptcies. And after about 5 years, I decided that that just wasn't the life that I wanted to have. And I got into the health and wellness space. I started getting obsessed with transforming my own health. I had grown up on the East Coast, and my dad was a medical doctor, and it was very like kind of old school the way that my family was practicing back then, both with medicine, also with food. And I had a lot of digestive issues growing up. And as I got into my early 20s, I actually started to suffer with some depression, some mental health, some anxiety. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that my path that I was on was going to be the path. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm going to get laser and I'm going to transform myself and then teach everybody to do it. I had no idea that was going to happen. But over that next 10 years, I ended up quitting the practice of law, becoming a Pilates teacher, becoming a yoga teacher,
No way.
becoming a
What
certified.
Pilates do you teach?
What
Pilates do you teach?
Well, I don't teach anymore, but I was trained in classical Pilates and I taught for 15 years.
No kidding.
Yeah. So my teachers were actually second generation teachers. So Joseph Pilates had a few students that he worked with one-on-one. And then one of those, there was 5 specifically, one of them taught these 2 sisters who lived in Boulder, Colorado. And I flew out to Boulder because I wanted to train with them back in 2004. I'd already been certified in LA in like 1999, but I flew out to Boulder. That's how I ended up getting to Boulder, Colorado, meeting my husband, getting married, living there. And then after the yoga and the Pilates, I decided that I wanted to monetize my career because really, even though I was really obsessed with the health and wellness, I had a business mind. And I was very motivated financially. So I started to figure out, like, how can I monetize my business? And what I thought I could do was bring some type of product into my already existing clientele and, build a website. This was back in 2000 and maybe 10. So it was like when, marketing was getting hot. It was like we only had the Facebook platform. There was no Instagram yet. There was no YouTube. There was no Pinterest. There was no Twitter. There was nothing. But I started getting really active online and built myself into the being that I was, which was really obsessed with clean eating, plant-based eating. I'm actually a vegan myself. I've been gluten-free since I was 12. No, I'd been dairy free since I was 12. I'd been vegetarian since I was 12. I went vegan when I was in my 30s. I went gluten free when I was in my 30s. So I started really incorporating more like teaching on whole food, juicing, raw food. I did a raw food certification, and I ended up kind of accidentally, I say, involved in an essential oil business, which was a network marketing company. And I know that you guys do something similar too. So the benefits of what network marketing can bring. And so that blew up. I ended up building a 7-figure income with that. I ended up stopping Pilates and yoga because the business became so big. And through the last 10 to 12 years, I've really focused on helping women over 40 look and feel better, look and feel younger. I really specialize in the longevity, anti-aging, and of course, I have so much knowledge and experience in the digestive health, mental health, and how the brain gut interacts.
Ah, oh, so powerful. Okay, so for whoever is listening, listen to Haley's story. You know our story, unless this is your first time listening to us. And drop a P if you're the type of person who is on a quest to every single day end your day feeling proud. Drop a P if this is you. It's like, Haley, like our mess becomes our message, and what you have built and created, I commend you for that. I mean, Erin and I do what we do, and you know how much effort it takes. Now, the reason why we do what we do, it's because it is fulfilling. And by the end of the day, like as a female, I believe that Like how many females in the world do you see ending their day feeling proud of themselves? Like when you have conversations with women, Haley, like what are the common feelings that most women feel on a day-to-day basis?
Well, a lot of women that are in my space, they feel frustrated, they feel exhausted, they feel triggered, they feel like they're doing something wrong. They're telling themselves a story that they don't know how, they don't know when to get started, they don't know how to get started. They are in relationships with their spouses or with somebody else that is not a 10 out of 10. They don't love their body. They are going to sleep at night wondering like when is something going to happen for them. They may not have 10 out of 10 relationships with their children. And what I want to say to you is that even though I was making money in my life, like that was always my gift. Like I know how to make money, but what was happening for me based on my own childhood experiences was that I was very introverted, and I was also a people pleaser, wanting to be perfect, didn't want to let people in. And I was not great at being vulnerable, authentic, and being in relationship.
Mm.
And so what I've learned is over the last several years is that you get to have a 10 out of 10. You get to have a 10 out of 10 everywhere in your life. You get to have a 10 out of 10 with the way that you look, the way that you perceive yourself, your body, your weight. You get to have a 10 out of 10 with how you wake up in the morning and the energy. Like people ask me, Haley, do you ever wake up and just be like, oh gosh, I don't want to start the day today? And I'm like, fucking never, never. I love my life. In fact, when I go on vacation, I love playing and being on vacation. If you guys watch me on Instagram, watch my stories, you will see I have a big social life and big family life. And I can't wait to get back to work.
Because you love your life.
Wake up every day loving my life. You get to have a 10 out of 10 relationship with your family, your children, and every place where it's like even maybe 9.5, you get to dive in and go, where do I get to go? Where do I still get to go? Like I was with a group this weekend and something came up for me. This is a little personal, so I'm going to share anyway. And I was like, I'm having this. I don't know how I was triggered by it, but I was having a little guilt on not being the best stepmother that I could have been for my stepdaughter. I didn't know how to be a stepmother. Being a stepmother, I think, is harder than being a mother if the child has an existing amazing mother. And I was having all this guilt, and I was being coached by my friends, and we were diving deep, and I was going there. And I just realized, like, I did the best that I can. I'm not going to beat myself up. And I can go and talk to my 21-year-old stepdaughter now and apologize and tell her how I feel about her. And so that can bring a sense of vulnerability. Most people would be scared to do that, but that can bring a sense of vulnerability, which can bring us to the next level in our relationship. So I share this with you because everywhere you go, whether it's your bank account, your relationship to God, spirituality, your relationship with your health, you get to go deeper. And that's what we want to bring to you this week.
Come on now. Come on now. If you know that you want a 10 out of 10 life, go ahead and drop a 10 in the chat. So freaking powerful. We have one life, guys, one life, and your time is now. I see so many people just, waiting for the next decade, the right moment. There's no better time than right now because all you have is right now. Look at you guys. You all want a 10 out of 10. Haley, I know you can see the comments. I'm just gonna look at that. So if you're serious about this, you guys, we're really just coming from a place of generosity because we feel blessed by the own messes that we have overcome in our own lives to be able to provide you with valuable information and education with regards to how do I create a 10 out of 10 life in my relationships, in my spiritual life, with my health, with my mental health, with my body. Because you have one life, you get to live one life, and you get to ask yourself the question, what kind of life do I want to live? So if you know that this is you, just join us. We're going to go all day Wednesday. It's going to be fabulous. And Haley, is there anything else that you want to add before you go working out?
No, I'm going to go. I like to get home early so I can take my daughter to surf camp. My husband volunteered to do it. He's a saint. And I get to do it too because it just gives me an extra 5 minutes in the car. Just an extra 5 minutes with my daughter. I get excited to be with her. So I'm going to leave you guys now. And I can't wait to meet you when I'm on a bigger screen and I can see your faces and I can see your comments. And I can't wait to really deliver what I've got to deliver because I'm personally going to take you through an experience where you get to dive in where you haven't gone with your own body and your own relationship to age, and how you can literally reverse your biological age, which means looking younger, feeling amazing, with some mindset and some protocols and some daily habits that will bring you into a space that you have not gone yet. So thank you for inviting me onto your platform today.
Of course.
And I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Yes, we're so stoked. Have a beautiful day. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
jumping in, Haley.
Thank you.
Team, wasn't that powerful? Wasn't that powerful? Do you feel excited? So that's what this is all about. It's about, listen, guys, we're all women. It's our time to rise up. It's our time to shine. Okay. So many times do I hear women say, I'll wait till next year. I'll wait till January 1st. What are you talking about January 1st? There are like 250 days from January 1st. Come on now. Your 10 out of 10 life gets to be created right now, regardless of what's going on externally. Because I'll tell you this, when you create a 10 out of 10 life, you know that you're not a byproduct of your circumstances. You know that you're a creator despite your circumstances, the creator of all things. Great relationships, compromised relationships. Now, if you're in a compromised situation, it's because you just haven't been taught how to do this differently. So we're super fired up for you to join us on Wednesday. It's going to be an absolute jam, and Erin and I are going to be there, and we're really excited to see your faces because ES Army Strong. That's what it's all about. So the link is on the screen. If you haven't already signed up for it, make sure to check it out. And people pleasing. Let's talk about that. So Haley herself is a recovering people pleaser. Listen, I believe that if you are a people pleaser, it's because you truly have a kind heart and you want to do right by people. Now, here's the deal. The first person that you get to do right by in life is you. Okay. And should we put ourselves on the back burner because we do have a kind heart, then we get to choose how we want to move forward. Okay. So to help you to get in the process of recovering from people pleasing, here's what you get to do. First and foremost, step number one with regards to creating any change is awareness. We cannot change something that we're not aware of. So the next time you find yourself in that feeling, right? Like the feeling that we talked about earlier, whether it's the feeling of guilt, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, just ask yourself, why? Why am I feeling this way? What caused me to feel this way? Get intimate with your patterns of people pleasing, because we cannot change a pattern until we get intimate with a pattern. You see what I mean? So once you get intimate with a pattern, for example, when this happens, I tend to say yes to this, even though it doesn't actually benefit me, even though it actually makes things more complicated for me. Okay, so now you know. So the next thing that you get to do is you get to set a boundary. Okay. And when setting a boundary, it can either mean you get to limit your exposure to something. It can either mean you get to eliminate your exposure to something, or you can reach up to a source, a person, a friend, your spouse, whenever that situation arises. Okay, so step number one is becoming aware of the pattern of people pleasing. Okay. Step number two is setting a boundary once you recognize what that pattern is. Okay, so for me, for example, I'm the type, I'll be honest with you guys. I have a tendency to say yes to a lot of things, and then I tend to overcommit. And then you know what happens afterwards? What ends up happening afterwards is that I fall short with time. Okay? So then I either am not on time, or I'm unable to pack everything that I wanted to pack on to pack in a day, right? So if, let's say, somebody was waiting on me, or I was going to do this thing and then I ended up not doing that thing or not going to that thing. It happened this weekend. There was, something that both Erin and I were going to go to, and then Erin just ended up going by herself, because I'm becoming aware of my patterns and I no longer want to be the cause of Erin falling short. So we made a pivot, and what ended up happening is that I ran out of time. Okay, so now I know the pattern. If I'm not 100% certain that I can follow through with something, I'm not going to say yes. Okay, if anything, I can say maybe, I'll let you know later, because if anything, it's a bonus rather than saying yes and then being a no. Okay, because especially if other people are involved, that can touch your relationships. I'm here to share this with you because I'm not perfect. Okay, I'm a real human, just like you. I feel grateful that I'm no longer at a point where, I self-sabotage, when I recognize my patterns of people pleasing. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're at, where you are. What matters is what you do about it whenever you find yourself getting to these points. Okay, and the second thing that you get to do is you get to develop compassion. Compassion with yourself and with others. Because here's the deal. Whenever you're in a quest to elevate yourself, you're going to go through breakdowns. You're not going to be perfect. This is why so many people would rather just live in a box, because the feeling of a breakdown might not feel good in the moment. However, it is a learning opportunity where you get to identify your patterns. So this is where you get to have grace with yourself and maybe get vulnerable with others, in the case that other people ended up having to pay the price for your people pleasing. Make sense? So step one, become aware so you can recognize the patterns. Step two is you set a boundary so that you can shift your patterns. And step three, in the moment, as you're recognizing the patterns, you get to have compassion with yourself and with others. Okay? And the process of, becoming more compassionate to you is recognizing that being a people pleaser is actually a great thing. It is. You just get to choose who is the most important person in your life that you get to please. I'm not here to tell you who that is. But what I'm here to share with you is that it should probably be you. Because the more compassionate you are with yourself, the better you treat yourself, the more you're able to give love to yourself, the more you're able to do this to others. When you cut an orange and you squeeze it, what ends up coming out of it? What ends up coming out of it? When you cut an orange and you squeeze it, I want one of you guys to answer that. It's not here to be a trick question. It's really just a question. The last time you cut an orange and then you squeezed it, what came out of it? Juice. What kind of juice? What kind of juice? OJ, orange juice. Perfect. Okay. So what you put in is what you get out. I'm not here to tell you what to put in, but I'm here to tell you that the more compassion you give to yourself, the more love you give to yourself, the more love you can give to others. And why do I share this with you? Because something that I know as a recovering people pleaser is that you people please because you love people. Now, If your ratio of people pleasing is greater than the ratio of you pleasing you, then guess what happens? You're actually committing a crime. Okay? Because you're trying to pour out orange juice from a lemon. How's that possible? It's impossible. You squeeze out an orange, what comes out is orange juice. Okay? So what you put in is what you get out. Resentment, 1000%. 1000%. So this is about you creating your best life. This is about you being your best self. Okay? Each and every single day you have a brand new opportunity, and you're the one who gets to choose. It doesn't matter what you've been told up until now. What matters is what you do about it starting now. Okay? So I hope you found value in today's conversation. If you did, you already know how this game works. Spread the love with someone else who will resonate with this message. And also, because of the special timing of when this episode is recorded on Wednesday, July 19th, Erin and I are going to be co-hosting alongside other incredible female leaders. Haley Hobson is one of them, alongside Ashley DeLello, who was actually on our show about a month ago, and Sarah Connell, who is incredible, and a few other female leaders as well, on how to create a 10 out of 10 life, because we believe in you. And too many women go to bed each and every single night feeling frustrated and feeling ashamed. Now imagine going to bed every single night feeling proud. If you know that that is something that you want, then it is now your time to start creating a 10 out of 10 life. So we look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, hope you have a beautiful continued Momentum Monday. And we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.